Part 2 of your video course. There you go. Part 2. Parte 2. Capítulo 2. Chapter 2. The other side of the record. The flip side of the record. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to call Optimum because this dropping out every so often is annoying. But I don't know if it's a YouTube thing or what. Oh my god, it's really annoying. But I can't complain about the speed. So let me go back to that real quick, and then I'm gonna move on. So this is not a great radio, but she kept saying that. Oh, it's a touchscreen. Everything should have a touchscreen. I say no. Everything should not have a touchscreen. It's easy to let it go. Everything does not need a touchscreen. Yeah, see, the battery's dead on this. I was gonna fire it up, but its battery's dead. But I'm gonna make a playlist on this and make videos on it, and then I'll do a review on it. But I'm not into touchscreens. Like I was saying, I have a tablet. My son plays with it now. I don't care for tablets. I'd rather have a notebook computer than a tablet. And hello, Bobby. I'd rather have a notebook computer than a tablet. I just don't care for tablets. I never did. I own a couple of tablets, and I wound up using it a couple of times, and it says that collect. I have an Android tablet down there. I never use it. It's a medium-sized tablet. I had it for a few years. It was collecting dust. I have an Amazon Fire tablet. My son plays with it. I just don't use it. I don't care for it. I'll use my phone, but I don't care for tablet. And I got that on sale. I think it was around $50, $60. It was on sale, something like that. It's Amazon. It was around $50, $60. It was on sale. I think I bought it when it was Prime Day a few years ago, 2 years ago, or something. Yeah, we're back, James Farley. Yep. Yeah. Yes, I have problem here with CenturyLink sometimes. Yeah, aka Century Stink. Yeah. I can't complain. The speed is fine. It's just that, like I keep saying, there's never going to be 100% reliable. And for me, if I drops, I just come right back with another stream. It's another video on my library. That's all. So that's all. When I finish this stream, I'm going to update the title. I'll put, this will be part 2. The other one will be part 1. That's it. And that's it. I come right back. I know some people end their stream like that and they leave people suspense. No, I don't like to leave my streams like that. If I get cut off, I come right back and at least say goodbye to everybody. At least I'll be on for a few more minutes, say goodbye, and then I don't want to just get cut off and not come back until next week or whatever. I don't do that. I come right back. I come right back and I'll stay on a few more minutes or whatever. Or, in this case, I had just hit 2 hours. Not even 2 hours. I have to check. I have to look back on the. But I'll be on for another. But it's 7:00 now. I'll be on for another hour, at least another hour. Because the rest of the night I'm just gonna relax. So I don't have anything planned. So Keegan, yes, sir. I have the Amazon Fire tablet and the iPhone XS Max. December 2015 and December 2018, respectively. The tablet has a few stuck pixels or dead pixels. Yeah. Yeah. So she just kept harping about that in the chat, with the touchscreen. And I'm not crazy about touchscreen. I don't want touchscreen everything. I mean, I understand on a car, especially if it's a big display, but I like knobs. I like buttons and knobs, you know. So I don't want all my radios to be touchscreen. I don't want that. You know, I don't want that. I want to be able to, use buttons and stuff. So she just kept going on and on about that. I could see that he was getting kind of annoyed by it. Like she just didn't want to let it go. She just didn't want to let it go with that whole touchscreen nonsense. I gotta call it nonsense because it was just going on and on about it. I'm like, oh my God, please. Because I know, and I didn't say anything because that was his channel, but I don't like touchscreens. I know because I had touchscreen laptop. I had a touchscreen screen. I had a touchscreen computer. It was an all-in-one. It was a touchscreen computer. And I didn't buy that one though. It was they were gonna throw it out at my brother where he worked at, and I have it. And I had it for a few years here, and I finally threw it out. I was gonna fix it. But I'm the type of person, again, it's a touchscreen screen. I don't like it. I would have thrown it out. It needed a new hard drive. I think it was missing. I think the memory was missing. I was gonna put memory on it and it was put a new hard drive. And I think something else, there was another issue with it. And I was about to fix it. It was like a 20, I forgot. It was from HP. It's an all-in-one screen computer like this one, like the Lenovo, but it was touchscreen also. But I'm not a fan of touchscreen. I just don't like because I had like I said when I tried the laptop, it's like gimmicky for me. Ooh, look how cool this is! I could do Windows with my finger. Who cares? I still like to use a mouse, and I don't want to use my fingers. I don't like that. Even my laptop, it has that little touchpad. I don't use that. I still use a mouse with my laptop. I don't like the touchpad. I just don't like it. I tried it. I gave it so many chances on it. I just don't like the touchpad. I don't want to be able to put two fingers together to do this. I don't want to do all that. Just use the mouse. I drag and drop with the mouse. I'm so used to the mouse. Why I want to relearn to do all these gestures when I don't need to? I don't need to relearn to do gestures. You understand? It's not about being afraid of change. It's just there's nothing to fix. Why try to fix something that's not broken? The mouse been working for me for over 30 years. The mouse works fine for me. Why do I need to touch screen on the computer? Now, instead of me sitting up ergonomically, now I have to reach over the screen every time I want to do something? No, I don't want to do that. Uh-uh. Same thing when I'm typing on the keyboard. I want to feel the keys. I don't like that. Sorry. I don't like the virtual keyboard. I don't like that either. Oh my God, I keep hitting my microphone. So I don't like that either. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. No, I'm not. I try. I'm so many times I gave touchscreens a chance. It's just I go back to using the mouse. I'm not crazy about touch pads or touch screens. And then Microsoft tried to shove that thing down my throat with the Windows 8. And then when it came out with Windows 8, it was horrible. I hated that. They try to make everything into tiles and whatever. I hated it. So no, I don't want my radios to be touchscreen. I don't want that. I don't mind the SDR type thing with the waterfall. I don't mind that, but I don't want everything touchscreen either on the radio. I want to have knobs. I want to be able to tune, not pressing a screen. I want to be able to tune with a knob. I don't want to be pressing something to tune. Just leave the knob. Give me, make it both. If I want to touch the screen, I touch it. Otherwise, leave the knob there. not totally, it just doesn't, to me, it won't feel like a radio. Imagine all this was gone and all I had was a big touch screen here. I don't. I like the knobs. It's a man thing. I just got in trouble for that. I just got in trouble for that. It's a man thing. We like knobs. I want knobs on my radio. Hey, hello, Andy. Hello, brother. I want knobs. I don't want a touch screen. Everything got to be touch screen. No, I don't want touch screen on everything. It would look, if all my radios had touch screen, it would look boring back there. Every radio has an interesting feature because of the knobs and the buttons and all that. If everything was touch screen, it would look boring. Everything would look the same. At that point, why I need a radio if I got just SDR? Because that's the next thing that's gonna happen. Everything's gonna be SDR. That's people who say that they should make this radio to an SDR. No. SDR got their own SDRs. This is a radio like this. Buttons and I don't want an SDR. If I want an SDR, buy an SDR. People say that they should make this to SDR. No. SS Data is not in the business of making SDRs. SS Data is not, same thing with E-Time. They're not in the business of making SDRs. Stop saying that, people. Stop saying that. Stop saying, I wish E-Time could come up with SDR. It'd probably be a piece of junk anyway. Why would I want E-Time to make SDR? I want SDRPlay to make a new SDR. Or RTL SDR can make a new RTL SDR. Or ELAD or whatever. I don't want E-Time to make an SDR. Let them stick to what they make. Right? Just saying. I don't know. Just saying. You want everything to be a touchscreen SDR. I don't want everything to be a touchscreen. I like old radios. I like this radio. It's an old radio. It's a tube radio and it still works. 80 years something. What is 80 years plus? It works. It warms up the room too, and you can smell it sometimes. The tubes are warm. It has character on it. Why would I want to put a touchscreen on this thing? Touchscreen on this radio? No. we have a my wife Honda Civic 2003. I mean, excuse me, Odyssey, the van, 2003. The Honda Civic is 2010. There's no touch screens there. That's not touch screens, all buttons. The radio is still it's a digital display, but I still got to tune. You got the knob. I still tune it. I don't want to everything. No, I don't want that. Don't want that. Yeah. James Farley, I have the Fire Tablet HD8 in for Prime Day. It's still in the box. Wow. You see, that's what I'm saying. I I'm cool with touchscreen, but I'm used to buttons. Yeah, and knobs. Exactly. I don't hate it. I just don't use it. It just doesn't. I try. There's every even when I worked on the trains, the new cars, they have a touchscreen. If you want to do the maintenance on it, but you still got to put a handle wrench and turn it, and it opens up another menu, and it's all touchscreen. The whole computer's touchscreen. That's fine, And I understand that because they want to minimize the space and plus we're talking about they want to simplify it for for the technician. They don't want to be, okay, you got to press F7 if you want to get to the F8. They just want you to hit the screen. Bing, bing, bing. I get that. But if you're a radio listener, no, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I use my touchscreen for this because I have to. But I don't want. I had tablets. I never used them. I just don't because I do everything on the phone. Yeah. Can I get a bigger phone? They got the phone that's like like the Note. It's an oversized big phone, but it gets to the point where it won't fit in my pocket anymore. This barely fits in my pocket. If I'm going that big, that's like a tablet. Yeah. This is out of necessity. Okay, I got messages. But this is out of necessity. I have to use the touchscreen. I don't have a choice. Otherwise, I have to go back to a old flip phone, and that's limited. So in this case, I have to use the touchscreen. I have to. I don't have a choice. Otherwise, I'm going back to. For this technology, I get it because if you don't use this, then you're gonna use a flip phone. There's no in between. They have in between, like remember the BlackBerry with the little mechanical keyboard? That was cumbersome. So I get it. For that, I get it. The keyboard, it was too, I had a phone like that. It was called a Trio. I still have it over there somewhere. It's in a box. Actually, that was my wife's phone. She had the Trio, which is a phone with a screen, but it had a keyboard right here. It had a little physical keyboard. She's typing away. That was way before the iPhone came out. The first iPhone. But that's out of necessity that I use that touchscreen. I have to use it. Otherwise, I can't use the phone. But, I wouldn't use and I tried tablets. I tried several of them. It's just not for me. Like when I was gonna go to 2 computers on this one, I seen people use a tablet to keep up with the live chat, and then have it on screen. No, I want 2 screens. That's it. They take up more space. That's fine. I don't want a computer. I was because originally it was gonna be a laptop and a tablet. That was gonna be my live stream, but I just can't. I can't with a tablet. It's just too. I need big screens, real big screens. Otherwise, I couldn't read the chat. There's no way I could read that chat if that was on a tablet. There's no way I could read all that. I would have a headache. For all the eye strain that I would be going through, I would have a headache. I could comfortably read that chat from here with these reading glasses. These are not even prescription. I don't have prescription glasses. These are reading glasses. From right here, I can read it. Fine. If that was on a tablet, there's no way I could read all that. No way. Unless they were thicker Coke bottle glasses. And I wouldn't bother. I would say, you know what, forget it. I'm not gonna read it. I would have skipped a lot of people. I got it to a point where it's comfortable. I could read that. I could look at this screen. I could look at what I'm comfortable with it. I thought about the tablet. I tried it, and I was like, okay. And then I had the touch screen. I had to put it on a stand, and it wasn't gonna work for me. So yeah. Yeah, I'm used to typing with a keyboard. I don't care about gestures and all that. Even on my phone, I don't like to do all that stuff. I go on my phone, I want to open my app. That's it. I don't want to do all this other stuff. I don't do any file maintenance in there. If I want to move files, what I do is when I plug that in, I open that up on the computer, and then I do it on there. Like when I go into the file manager on my phone, I don't like to use the file manager on my phone. I'd rather hook it up to the computer and do everything on the computer. I still do that. So let me scroll down here. I use the iPhone to record my radio. Yeah, I use this one. I use for my when I record outside. I have a Nikon D 5100, and I want to use it, but it's so bulky. And this I can just 1, 2, 3. I'm all for recording. You know, like when this was playing Radio Pancho Villa, I got the QSL, EQSL on that the other day. Right here, I had to go right here real quick. Boom, put it on a tripod. Boom, boom, off and running. That's it. With the Nikon, I have to, oh my God, it's like a whole process. With a DSLR, it's a whole process. You know, and I had to use that tripod because for that camera, I need that tripod. That's a heavy duty tripod. With this phone, I have a light tripod for that one. I can't put that Nikon on this tripod. It's too heavy. You know, I'll show you. This is the Nikon that I have right here. This thing is heavy. This is right here with the tripod. Look, this whole thing right here. And I have the microphone too. It's heavy. By the time I set this up, forget it. I'll lose the. I'll miss the shot. I would have missed that broadcast because it was only on for a few minutes. When that thing came on the Pancho Villa, it was only on for 5 minutes. There would, you know, I recorded some of it, and I have another video I recorded most of it, and it was on 5 minutes. Then they're gone. Pirate stations usually come in and they're gone right away. Well, this one did that because I never heard it before. I was like, you know, because I normally it's timing. So this time I just say I'm gonna grab my phone. I have my tripod right there. Boom, boom, boom. Put it right there. Bing. That's it. I record. Go. Yeah. So that's the, you know, the exception is the phone. So. And Andy Cowley, of course, hey brother. Keegan this and the laptop keyboard to add captions. Yeah. Yeah, that's good that you do that too when you do the FM DXing videos. I like that you put the caption from the it plays the caption. That's cool because you know sometimes well in your case you got the RDS you know a lot of them are RDS too, so that's pretty cool that you get the RDS too. So that's cool that you got the plus the caption is good for the search results. You get better searches if you have close. All those things help for your channel when you do the closed caption. Um, like if I do longer videos, I should do chapters, which I don't do. Now YouTube has a thing that they do it for you now. It takes time, but they add like there's a video that I made on my other channel, on my tech channel. I did a long video, and it did the chapters for me. It did it on its own after a week or so. But I need to rename some of the chapters because it misspelled a couple of things. But I didn't do it. YouTube did it. It made chapters out of the video, which is nice. Yeah. Jim's radio check. You use a touchscreen all the time. Yeah. But that's out of necessity. Yeah, I know. Remember the early days of mobile phones were the size of a suitcase. Yeah. I didn't own a mobile phone back then when it was like that was too expensive. That was for only people that have money. My first mobile phone was a flip phone. Was it a flip phone? Yeah, my first mobile phone was a flip phone. You know, before that I had pager. I still have the pager. And let me, I got it right here. I'll show you the pager. I still have it. And then we put a battery in it. Let me see what happens. Let me just get a battery. Here you go. Still got my pager right here, baby. Flex pager. So you got the new. And if you can read all that, can I focus in there? So let me see how you take out the battery. I forgot the battery. So you hit this thing. Man, this thing is probably stuck in there. I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I know. That was my early phone. With my pager. And you go to a pay phone and yeah, what's up? What you need, man? What you need? I wasn't doing that, but you know. How the hell you open this thing up? I gotta pull. Okay, wait. Cause this thing's probably stuck in there. Been so long since I opened this thing up. And my hands are like oily. My God, they're like okay. There you go. Oh, I got it. I got it open. Got it open. There you go. All right. So I got a couple of batteries in here. So it takes one AAA battery. This display's probably all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's messed up the display. You heard that? Oh my God. I would just vibrate. I was just going through. I know I'm there because the display's all messed up. Let me see. Can you? Yeah, it's fading. Is that the LCD is going bad? I guess the light still works. Yeah, but the display is already going bad. So yeah, I know you can still get service on them. So this is about I think 800 megahertz. 800 megahertz or 900. I forgot what the frequency is. I think it's 800 or something. So I put the lock on it. I shouldn't have locked it. I want to leave the battery in there. And then yeah, let me take the battery out. So I still keep them. Yeah. Anyway, I can't see this. Yeah. So there you go. Motorola pager. So we're going back in time now. Let me see. Let me see what else I got. I got dig out here real quick. Talk about PDA. Anybody remember this? That's the M100, the Palm. I even put the Velcro on it because I got the little leather case. Let me see. I got shot. Oh, sorry. Oh snap! I left batteries in there. Oh my God! Don't tell me they went bad. Oh my God! Did I leave the batteries in there? Yeah, them batteries are probably gone. Let me take them out anyway. I should take them out anyway because I'm gonna swap them. Oh man, don't tell me they. No, they didn't leak. Oh my god, thank God. I forgot about them. So let me go. Let me put these batteries in. These are brand new ones. So this is the there you go. It's starting up now then. I just put the batteries in. It still works. So this is a Palm M100. You got the stylus and everything for this guy. This is, oh my god, this is like there's a power button right up here. I'll remove the stylus as shown. So tap anywhere to continue. See? So now you have to go through this whole. So it's calibrating. Okay. So now I'm going through the setup. See, so it's telling me the time zone and all that stuff, asking me for all this stuff. So there you go. This is pretty cool. So anyway, this is the Palm. This is way before the iPhone. This is like the 90s. 90s technology. Here we go. Of course, this didn't have no service. This is just a Palm. But they also made some that, you could talk. It's not this one. I have one. It's in a box. I think it's upstairs. It's the second floor. I'm trying to power it down. I can't. Anyway. Hello, Theo. How's it going? Yeah, so this is you could get them on eBay. I've seen them for $20, $30. People still collect these. You know, Palm Trio. This is like the old. I wish I had the Apple Newton, but I never bought that Apple Newton. Now all that stuff is collectible now. Apple Newton. Somebody sold the iPhone on auction. Everything's okay, Sanjay? Yeah. So Eddie, what it was, iPhone. Somebody bought one the other day for $60,000. iPhone 1 in the box. It sold for $60,000 on an auction. So I'm like, I never owned the iPhone 1. So I never got to own that. And then of course I did own the what it was, the iPod, the original iPod I have. I sold it to my brother. And the original iPod. I still have the iPod Touch, the original. Not the original, the second gen. I have the iPod Touch. I have two of them. iPod Touch. I still have them. They still have music in it and everything. But the problem with those, I can't take out the music anymore because iTunes now won't recognize it. It's so old. So they're stuck with the music in it. I can't take them out unless I use another software, a third-party software, and then I can do that. Yeah. So but yeah, $60,000 for the iPhone, the original iPhone 1. Got somebody bought it, and then somebody bought another one for $33,000, and that one was I think it was the second one, the iPhone. So people collect those things. I got a whole box of my old phones. All my old phones are in a box. I just keep them because you never know one day. Like how many you got your old phones stored away somewhere? What's your oldest phone? What is the oldest phone you have? What is the oldest phone you guys have? My oldest phone is a flip phone. Is the Sprint. It was from Sprint. I think it was a Motorola phone. It's a flip phone. Of course, that's before that I had this pager, and then I had another pager before this one. It was a see-through one, clear. It was clear. It was bigger. It was a lot bigger. It was clear. And then I got this one. This is my last pager, and this is from 1990. I'm gonna say 90, 96, 95, 96, somewhere. Probably around 95, 96. So, at that time I was seeing somebody, so she would page me, and then I would call from my, okay, somebody's trying to reach me. Okay, so I would be at work, I would call. And, we had these little, what do you call it? Like codes. And then, if you put it upside down, you could write hello. I think you use zero. Is it zero? Is it 077 is 0777734, and you put it upside down and you get hello. And of course 911, if you put 911, that means emergency type thing. Oh, call back, I need to talk to you. And we make use of these things. We take these things for granted now, because now we have 4G, we have 5G. We take all this stuff for granted. This stuff you had to go to a pay phone, because they will leave their number. They will page you their number, or the number they're calling from. They will say, okay, call me at this number, and then you have to call them and say, okay. And this is like 30 years ago. That's it. It's not even like 100 years. This is only 30 years ago. Now everybody's using touch phone, and even my son. Yeah, I took a picture of one. Let me see if it's here. When I was in Indiana, no, it was in Pennsylvania. I was at a rest stop. I saw payphones. Let me see if it's here. Let me see. Oh, it's not here. Oh, I uploaded it. Yeah, it's not here. I already uploaded to my laptop. I took pictures of payphone. It was a rest stop around Pennsylvania. It was around central Pennsylvania somewhere. Payphone. They had a payphone in the rest stop. They had two of them, but they were lowered too, because they had the TTY. Because not only was a payphone, it was also what is it? TTY. That's like the service for the deaf or something. Is it? What is TTY for? I forgot. I gotta look it up. Anyway, I know they were lower too, because they also making them ADA. Normally payphone is up here. Like when you stand up, this one was lower. Like if you wheelchair, it was low. It was very low. Payphone, but that's the first time I saw a payphone in long time. Long time. I didn't see a payphone anywhere. And when we went to Indiana, we stopped at a rest stop, and I went in that place. Of course, they got vending machines for the snacks and all that, and there was a payphone. There was two payphones, one on one side, one on the other side of the rest stop. And I took pictures of it. I said, I'll take a picture. I was gonna upload it to does anybody remember these? And I never uploaded it. I was gonna upload it. When I go on my, I had it. I uploaded to my laptop. I'm gonna see. Actually, let me see if I even upload it here. Maybe I could just post a picture, right? I have to check on my. Let me drag this over here, and I'm gonna look to see if I did. Let me see. I don't think I do. I think it's on my laptop. Let me see. Oh no, I have it right here. Let me post it. I'm gonna have to move this. Move right here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so that's it right there. That's the payphone. So that was at a rest stop in Pennsylvania. There was two of those. So they still take coins. Local call 50 cents. And there was a sign outside of it about, I think you can do TTY on it or something. But anyway, that's a payphone for all you youngsters out there. So anyway, that's what they would do. They would page me because we didn't have phone. We couldn't carry phones. They were too expensive. Plus, it was way before cell phones were really prevalent. So we walk around with a pager, and you pay for this. You pay a service, monthly service. I was paying, I think, like $20 a month, $20 a month. You get limited pages, whatever. And so will text. They will page you their number, like, oh, I'm, like for example, lady friend. She would text, she would put her number here. Then I would run to a payphone and call her because we don't have phones. Unless I'm in my house, then I have my house phone. But when you're in the street, this and a payphone, that was it. That was your way of, same thing when you're working as a messenger. Messenger, they dispatch will page you, and then you had to go to a phone and call the dispatch. Okay, what's going on? Okay, I need you to go here and here. Okay, that was your mobile communications at that time in the 90s. This and a payphone. That was it. Yeah, so I'm looking at the payphone. Man, I think got a lot of fingerprints on it. So people used it. They use it. 4 minutes for $1 worldwide. I'm gonna upload that to the community tab. I'm gonna upload that so you guys can see it after that and see that picture. Yeah, I can imagine it'd be a collectible, right? Have it in a man cave, especially if it's still working and somebody left their phone. Of course, people are gonna say, "Can I borrow your phone?" Because of course, it's cheaper plans now. Of course, now you can you can call anywhere in the world. Back then, it was like, of course, right there's 50 cents for local call. Back then, it was a quarter. Right back in the 90s, it was a quarter, 25 cents. Now it's 50 cents. Yeah, Jim's radio check. You can use. Excuse me. Remember the early mobile phones were like the size of suitcase. Yeah, and back then, if I didn't know anybody that had a mobile phone in the early 90s, I didn't know anybody. Even the people that I grew up with, even the dealers, they didn't have that. They all had pagers. So they all had pagers. I never ran into somebody that was like that big that had a mobile phone like the size of a walkie-talkie. No, I never met anybody that had that. And they had mobile phone when it was affordable to a lot of people. When it was affordable. By the time I got my first mobile phone, we're talking about before 1998. Around 98 is when I got my first phone. My first, and it was a Sprint, and it was horrible. The service was horrible. It was a Sprint. That was my first mobile, and then it was a Verizon. I had a shared plan. Then they started doing shared plans around 99. They started doing shared plans. So that time, my fiance and we had a share plan, and it was still expensive. We're talking about $200 something a month, probably about two, with taxes and everything. It was almost $200 a month. I think it was $150 or something. I forgot what it was, and we didn't have that much minutes. It was only like 300 minutes combined or something ridiculous. It wasn't even unlimited. It was like 300 minutes combined. That's it. You know, and text. Of course, you could text on a flip phone, but it was cumbersome. To text on a flip phone, it was cumbersome. I didn't text. And then around 2000 is when they started having a separate. They started having. I had bought one for my daughter when she was, she was a kid at that. Is the ones they use for texting. It looks like a big pager with a LCD screen, but it had a keyboard. You could pull it out and you could type. I have a phone like that too, with the pull out keyboard, and you use it. It's a small keyboard that slides out. I have a phone that you slide it like that, and it has a full keyboard. But those things are cumbersome to text on. And we came a long way now. I mean, now forget it. Now But this is history. This is history now. All this stuff, and like you said, they still in service today. They still have services for that. I went through all of them. I went through Verizon. No, the only service I never used was Nextel. Of course, Sprint eventually merged with Nextel. But Nextel, I remember Nextel phone. People used to go, and yeah, the walkie-talkie type. You got to press to talk. Those phones, you got to press to talk. And then of course Boost, and then Boost Mobile was the one that once Nextel got bought out by Sprint, then Boost took over that whole thing. Boost Mobile with the press to talk stuff. All you hear is chirping. And people talking on the bus and like people talking about their business right there. And like everybody gotta hear your business. Everybody gotta hear your business. Yeah. And let me see. Yeah, Jim's radio check. My first phone was a Motorola flip phone. Yeah. So my first phone was it was a Motorola. I think it was Motorola. Trying to remember the brand, but I know this I know the provider was Sprint because that's the only one I could afford at that time was Sprint. Because at that time it was only how many of them were how many providers? It was just Sprint, Verizon. There was another provider. I can't remember the third one. Oh, AT&T. Sprint, Verizon, AT&T. That was it. And AT&T was the worst. Everybody that I spoke to, they say don't sign up with AT&T. They're the worst. Horrible service. They were the worst. AT&T. And then Verizon. Verizon was the better out of the three of them for this area. It was Verizon. But Verizon was too expensive for me. They nickel and dime you like crazy. Even the internet is ridiculous. Yeah. Nice to see you back. Thank you, Theo. Amigo. King India said the iPhone XX Max is my first. Okay. Yeah, but you're a young buck, man. I'm talking about this is like 19. This is this is a long time ago now. This is 30 years ago. This is 30 years old. At least 30 years. I had it. I had this one. Almost 30 years though. Hello, TV Radio 1972. Yeah, so this is 1994, 95. I had it for yeah, 94, 95, 96. I think I had it for a couple of years. I had it in service. So this is approaching 30 years. 30 years. 30-year-old technology. Whatever. Yeah. So that and a payphone. That was your mobile service. And then of course later on, what it was, Verizon. I never used the AT&T. I avoided that like the plague. Yeah, it's a beeper, pager. Yeah, I had it on earlier. I took the batteries out already. So yeah, Michael, I hope you're doing well too. Um, yeah, so payphones, yeah, I can see them being collectible. But like I just said, auction. Somebody bought the iPhone 1 for $60,000 in the box. So I have all my phones. I have every single phone in a shoebox upstairs somewhere. I keep them. It's like a evolution of mobile. You know, just like the Palm, right? PDA. This was my first PDA. Was my Palm. Then I had the Trio, but that was a phone. That was a phone with this combined with a phone, the Trio. You had the Trio. I never owned a BlackBerry. That's one phone I never got to own, the BlackBerry. I never owned the BlackBerry. And then, of course, a few years later after that, in 2004, whatever was it 2003 or 2004? I forgot what year. The iPhone finally came out with the iPhone 1, iPhone 1, I believe, and that was auctioned $60,000 in the box. Man, I would love somebody to buy one of my old phones for even $1,000. I'll take that in a minute. And MP3 players, I have old MP3 players. I have one is a hard drive. It's a 3.5-inch hard drive. Inside is upstairs. I'm gonna bring them down. I'm gonna put them over here. It's as big as MP3 player is as big as that TV right there. It's like this big. It's an MP3 player the size of this hard drive. It was in a case. It had a little display screen. It's from Archios. Archios. That thing was cumbersome as hell. And imagine walking with this hard drive. That's what I had. I had a hard drive like this size. I had a hard drive like this size. It was an MP3 player. And man, I used to go jogging with that. And that thing weighs a couple of pounds. You see? I still have it. Buggy as hell. Buggy as hell. But that thing had music. I had like a lot of music in there. And that thing was, it would skip every so often because you're running and that thing, sometimes it would crash. I'm surprised the hard drive never went dead on me. And I think it had like was it 80 gigabyte? No, 40 gigabyte hard drive. I forgot what was it 40? I gotta bring it down. I'm gonna look at it. It's called the Archios. And then remember before that was the MP3 CD players. You see people on the train with a big CD player, and that thing would skip. Oh my God. Hello, Miggy. How's it going? Yeah. BlackBerry. Yeah. Jim's Radio Show with UCB Radio. Yeah. Jim's Radio Show, it was called a BlackBerry. Yeah, I remember the BlackBerry, but I never owned one. That's one phone I never got to own with the BlackBerry. My dad had Nokia cell phone with service from 2007 to 2022. Switched to another provider last year. My iPhone service provider is Verizon. I thought of after Sprint T-Mobile merger, they will keep the Sprint name now, and they kept it. Yeah, yeah, because originally used to be Sprint was one of the original telephone companies. It was actually a phone company. Long distance service. When we have phone service here, it was New York Telephone. Then it became Bell Atlantic. No, New York Telephone. Then it became 9X. 9X. Well, I'm talking about my region. It was 9X. Then it became Bell Atlantic. Then it became Verizon. So Sprint was a competing phone company. You could order just phone service with them. This is before cell phone service. And Sprint used to do long distance. Remember they had the commercial with the pin? They dropped the pin. You can hear the pin drop. So they had a commercial back in the 80s, in the 90s, that they drop a pin. And you can hear a pin drop. That's how excellent they. So, anyway. So that was their ad, the pin drop. Yeah. So yeah, they kept because T-Mobile is usually when a merger is the company that's usually in a merger, usually the bigger company is the one that's going to keep the name. They were buying Sprint because Sprint stock price at that time, Sprint stock price was nothing. It was cheap. They were losing money. So what T-Mobile did was buy their customers. They have more customers. That's it, and they want to their towers and all that. Originally, T-Mobile came from Germany. They're from Germany. T-Mobile, and they rapidly took over here. But the big three was Sprint, Verizon, and AT&T for a long time. And then T-Mobile was like the number 4 guy, but they caught up fast. So they gobbled up Sprint. So yeah, that's what I have. I have T-Mobile. I'm happy with T-Mobile. We've been with T-Mobile for over 10 years now. More than that, actually, a long time now. 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. I have T-Mobile. We've been with T-Mobile for a long time. Before that, we was with Verizon for a couple of years. A few years we was with Verizon for a few years, but T-Mobile ever since. Yeah, I love T-Mobile. Best coverage. Yeah, I'll be right back. See what's going on. Sanjay, Sanjay, come here. Sanjay, come here. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay, a few more minutes and then I'm done. Okay. But I'm gonna make something. You want the other cheeseburger? Yes, I'll be 1 minute. I'll be done. All right. Yeah. Oh, my son wanted something. I'm gonna be done anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So T-Mobile, yeah, they gotten a lot better. Yeah, I forgot about Virgin Mobile too. I thought about signing up with them too a long time ago, but T-Mobile has worked for me. It seems to do. And I think Virgin at one time they used the Sprint tower. Excuse me. Yeah, Virgin. I think they were using the Sprint network, the Sprint towers, and then of course T-Mobile bought them. So now I guess Virgin. Man, it's all kind of yeah. So Virgin now, is they even Virgin anymore? They it's taken over by Boost. Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. So now Boost using, so Boost is probably using T-Mobile network now. And then I remember signing up with Metro PCS for a while, but they use the T-Mobile network. Metro PCS. That was another one that some people call it Metro POS. Metro POS. But I thought they were okay, but it was like okay. They just didn't have the selection of phones that I wanted at the time. The only reason why I went with them because I think I had an unlocked phone that I could only use with them. Like no other provider was. Anyway, they were I think at that time they were the best price. It was no contract. That was a good thing about back then with like Metro PCS. There was no contract. You just pay as you go. So yeah. So we take it for granted, 30 years plus. We came a long way from this and dial-up. This and dial-up internet. And now we got 4G, 5G, fiber, internet, cable, internet. Forget about DSL, dial-up, ISDN. I never got an ISDN line. I shopped around to get an ISDN line before DSL. They're very expensive. ISDN was very expensive. Basically, 128 kilobits. That's it. That was ISDN. 56K, you double it. That was ISDN. But they were too expensive. No way I could afford that back then. Way expensive. Yeah, so James Radio checks happy with T-Mobile. Yeah, that was a pager. TV Radio 1972. Keegan DX, sir. My dad had AT&T for dial-up internet service in 2008 after the previous number went down, switched to another number due to expenses. Yeah. So you never also you never had a pager, okay. Yeah, I know who would pay for that. Collectors. People that have a lot of money, people that have nothing to, they just want to spend money. Because I was at auction. 60,000. That was like an auction thing. Some people, Apple fan. Apple fanboy. Collector. People that like to collect Apple products. There's people that collect all that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't, even if I had the money, I wouldn't spend $60,000 on a, and it's in the box. So they're just going to look at the box and put it on a display. Oh, look at the iPhone 1. I guess they want to open up a digital museum one day or something. I don't know. Why would they? I mean, if I had money like that, I wouldn't buy that. But you don't know. People collect all sorts of things. I mean, who? That's like me. That's like you saying, oh, why would I want to buy this radio? This radio is obsolete. But I bought it because I wanted a tube radio. That's why I bought it. So the same reason why, but I wouldn't pay $60,000 for that. But whoever bought that radio for $60,000, I'm sure they're not worried about money. If you're gonna spend $60,000 on an iPhone that's in the box, you got a lot of money. You just got, I'm gonna say FU money. You got a lot of money. You're not worried about next month's rent. You're fine. You're doing very well. Yeah. James Radio check. When I was a teenager, me and all my friends used sideband CB radio to keep in touch, and we all had one in our cars. No, not me. We didn't have that. How I got into CB was because of this kid across the street. I mean, I heard about it, but nobody in my family ever had a radio like that. And the guy across the street started, he got into CB. He's a younger kid. And that's what got me looking at it and saying, wow, he's a kid, Because I used to, of course, I seen them on TV. I seen them, but I never owned one. And then he loaned me his. He had bought another one. He bought a Cobra with a single sideband. So he lent me his Uniden one. But that one didn't have single sideband. So I used to listen to it. But, I didn't have no, and I never really got into that. He was trying to, if I look back now, I wish I would have got more into it. I probably would have got my license years ago. I probably would have led back to this road. But that's a different time in my life. I was doing other things. I was into other stuff, including computers and all that. So I was into a whole different thing. Because he would come with the catalogs, him and his friend, and they would talk about, I want to get this mic. I forgot what it's called, the Eagle. I forgot what I want to get this power mic. I want to get this. He would look at these catalogs. They're like paper catalog. And he said, man, I want to get that microphone. And he was saving up money to buy that stuff. So he was the first one that brought up the single sideband and all that. I'm like, you get more channels if you get a radio with single sideband. That means instead of you having 40 channels, theoretically you got 120 channels because you could go upper side. If it's when you already got upper sideband, lower sideband. And I was like he's talking to me, and I'm like, okay, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't know all that stuff back then. I was like, now of course I know, what. And you could talk farther, and you could do this, and I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, you want to talk to another person far away. Okay, that's great. It was like that. I didn't care about it at the time. So he was like, he was geeking on that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, people collect a lot of stuff, man. You'd be surprised. Work as usual, Mickey. I still have 2 portable CD players. Oh, okay. James Radio Chain, Nextel. Yeah, Nextel. That's the other one that the chirping. Yeah, Nextel. Then they got gobbled up by Sprint, and then Boost Mobile was the number one. Was the one that was doing that a lot. Boost, the push to talk. T-Mobile has gotten a lot better in the rural areas. Yeah, I agree. And T-Radio, I have Virgin T-Radio. I have Virgin Mobile for years until it was taken over by Boost. Bobby, I got T-Mobile home internet and it just works. My cell service is Straight Talk from TracFone Walmart. I heard good things about that Straight Talk. I was very close to signing up with them, but then we decided to just stay with T-Mobile for now, because we're happy with T-Mobile. But I heard Straight Talk is pretty good. TracFone, because TracFone I know because I had the free phone. At one time I had a free phone. I applied for it, back then, a few years ago, and I remember it was TracFone, and the service was good. I was like, okay, good service, a free phone. That was what was the service? I forgot the free service. There's a few of them. There's Assurance, SafeLink. So I think it was SafeLink. I had SafeLink, and I had got one for my mother-in-law when she was alive. I did the application for her, and that's what she got, SafeLink. So they send you the phone, and the service is TracFone. It was TracFone, I remember. Yes, so cell phone and cell phone service. Jim's Radio Check. My brother drives a truck, and he said Straight Talk works the best. Yeah, Straight Talk. Yeah, a lot of people. I asked people about it, and they, when there was a chat room, these years ago, I was looking into a service, and somebody told me about Straight Talk. That from Walmart. Usually that works pretty good. T-Radio 1972, no contracts was the reason I originally picked Virgin Mobile, Boost Mobile. Yeah, because that's what happened with Metro PCS. I signed up with them because they didn't have no contract. And then finally, I mean, shortly after that, T-Mobile finally came out with a no contract plan. Because originally we was on the contract with T-Mobile. But then, right around that time, I guess they had a lot of competition with the no contract. I guess they started losing customers. They came out with their own no contract plan. And it was roughly about the same price of what we were paying. But it's no contract. So we went ahead and went to the no contract for the T-Mobile, and that's why we went to stay with T-Mobile, because there was no contract anymore. They don't have no more contract. But that was a big reason why a lot of people probably left too. They got fed up with the contracts, and if you leave early, you got to pay a penalty. And sometimes it was ridiculous. And another reason was I had an unlocked phone. I bought my phone on like this phone. This is an unlocked phone. There's no carrier with this phone. So I had an original. I had the Huawei Honor 5X, and that one had it was unlocked, so I could put any provider in there, any SIM, whatever provider. That's it. That's what Before that, I had the Samsung S3, and that one was locked into T-Mobile. It said T-Mobile on it and everything, and that one I could only use it with T-Mobile. That was it. So I said, no, I want to get an unlocked phone. So I saw one for a good price, and I bought that one. And that's all I buy now. I buy unlocked phone. You got to be unlocked. I can use it any provider. And I just get the Sprint order for, not Sprint, T-Mobile. Put the SIM in there, and that's it. Good. That's it. I don't need nothing special. But that was the other reason why I still with Sprint, because I know with Verizon at that time, they had the CDMA network or something. It's called CDMA. That you cannot use an unlocked phone even with Verizon. You can only use it with Sprint, because they use something else. I forgot what it's called. So Verizon is the only one that at that time was using CDMA, and you need a Verizon phone with that. That's it. You cannot use a unlocked phone with Verizon. So, all right, take care. I'm going to wrap it up. Because I was going to wrap it up anyway. It's an hour and 12 minutes. I did 2 hours before we got. So this is part 2. So I've been on for, I'm going to say over 3 hours now. I did my 3 hours today. So I'm going to wrap it up today anyway. So good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. I'll see you back on Tuesday. And so take care, everybody. Take care, Miggy, Jim, Radio Check, James Farley, Bobby, Keegan, Michael, TV Radio 1972. So take care, everybody, and Glenn Dansler, and I don't want to miss anybody else here. Actually, it was my other Theo. Thank you, Theo. Andy Cowley, James Farley, and I know Glenn Dansler before we got cut off the first time. So take care, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.